what's up guys? So pretty stoked to start working on this new motor I got, so let's check it out. So this is a 2008 Honda 20 horsepower 4-stroke. I believe it's a short shaft, haven't even measured it yet. It's got power tilt, so it's got a trim motor. It's got electric start. Yeah, it's a tiller model. And the crazy part is I only paid 120 bucks for it. Well, I'm not out of the woods yet. So the reason why it was so cheap was because it was actually seized up. So at the guy's house, I didn't get a chance to record, but I was able to get it unseized. So let me run you through how I got it unseized. So when I got to the guy's house, he didn't even actually know the motor was seized up. So once I got to his house, I took off the cowling and was inspecting the motor. And I noticed that the top cylinder, the spark plug wasn't in the cylinder. It was just sitting in the boot like this. And so this motor had sat, he said, in his shed for like 2 or 3 years. And so moisture definitely got into that top spark plug hole and seized up this motor. It really doesn't take all that long for these motors to seize up. I'm guilty of it too. I had a motor just sitting on my side yard, forgot to put the plugs in, and it only sat for a month or two and it got seized up. So basically to unseize these motors, I'm gonna pull off the pull starter and just show you how I got it unseized. There's just 3 bolts holding this on so that we can get access to the flywheel. All right, so with that pull starter removed, now we got access to our flywheel and this nut in particular. Before wrenching on this nut, I sprayed a bunch of WD-40 down the spark plug holes just to let that penetrate to help the cylinders get moving. And there's actually an arrow on the flywheel somewhere here, you probably can't see it, but that tells you which direction the flywheel moves. So after a few minutes of soaking, got a wrench, put it on the nut, and with a lot of force I was able to get that moving. And so now the flywheel's freed up, so it can make a full 360-degree turn. So this motor's freed up now. So now that the motor is unseized, I still haven't done a compression test on it. I've unseized a handful of motors in the past, and it's always kind of a crapshoot whether they get their compression back or not. You know, sometimes you end up breaking a ring, or maybe one cylinder doesn't have compression. So really the best way is actually to take your time when you're unseizing a motor. This was kind of a quick way to unseize it. So if I really wanted to like make sure that I didn't break any rings, you know, I would have laid the motor on its side with the spark plug holes up, and I would have let it soak overnight with Marvel Mystery Oil or PB Blaster. Just put a ton of that in the spark plug holes and really let that stuff penetrate into the cylinder walls, the rings, and then wrench on it with a socket wrench to get it freed up. And you can see now she's freed up. Feels like she's got compression. So I mean, this motor is about 95% complete, I'd say. It's missing the prop. It's around like 50 bucks. It's also missing the cowling latch here. I think that's about like 20 bucks. And I need a fuel connector too for this. That's about like 10 or 15 bucks. So probably about around 100 bucks so far. I do need to fully service this motor, I'm assuming. So impeller, oil filter, probably spark plugs. So yeah, probably around like 150 bucks or so to throw into this as of right now. I got it hooked up to a little battery. Let's just see if the electric start and the trim motor work. So let's see, here are the buttons under here. So let's see if this works. Hell yes. Let's see if this trim works too. Yeah, we're in business. So let me get my compression gauge and we'll throw that on and see if we got compression. Yeah, you can kind of see now the holes are like really deep. And my compression gauge fitting, I think it can grab. It was only getting like 1 or 2 threads on the top cylinder when I just tried it. But I've looked online, I can't really find an extended adapter piece with longer threads. So yeah, we'll just see if we can get a good reading with these. All right, got the gauge on the top cylinder. Let's see what we got. Sweet, we got like, is that like 100, maybe 105? That'll do, so let's check the bottom. Okay, bottom, hell yeah. Also about 100, 105, so we got even compression. Also, this battery is like super tiny. It's just like a 12 volt, 7 amp battery. It doesn't really have very many cold cranking amps, so it might even be better compression if I used a real battery. All right, I got an actual boat battery hooked up now. Let's see what the compression is. Yeah, much better. We got like 130-ish, 135. Yeah, let's just check for oil real quick. See how we're looking. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of overfilled. Interesting. Yeah, let's just make sure there's gear oil. Couldn't tell you how many times I've like gone to fire up a motor and happened to just check the gear oil and there was none, or there was just like water inside. So we'll just, yep, okay. Yeah, no water coming out, just straight oil, so that's good. Kind of see on my finger. So it actually looks pretty clear too. It doesn't look too brown, so yeah, this gear oil still looks pretty decent. All right, let's just test for spark. I just have one spark plug on the top cylinder, so it's grounded on the block, so we should see some spark. Awesome. All right, bottom cylinder, we should see some spark, hopefully. Yeah, I got everything reinstalled. I mean, she's got good compression, she's got spark. Carb seems somewhat clean. So yeah, I mean, if we're lucky, she might just fire it up. So let's see what happens. Moment of truth. Let's see what she does. Oh, damn. Not quite running right. This little boot too is leaking. I don't know if just because this clamp isn't getting a good seal or if there's crack on this rubber, so that's got to be addressed. Carb's got to come off and be cleaned. Yeah, I think I need to pump out a little bit of the oil too. I don't like that it's like sitting too high, the oil level, but yeah, for only 120 bucks in this thing, I think we can get this thing running. So I put a zip tie on it, so it's got a good seal now, but there's actually a little crack in the rubber right there, right above the zip tie. So like when I give it throttle, that little crack becomes exposed and leaks a little bit of fuel. So yeah, this part needs to be replaced. Well, here's all the parts for the Honda 20 that I had to order. Kind of a lot of little parts, like the prop kit, impeller oil filter, I already got oil, cowling latch parts, and then like this little rubber boot cap piece for the carburetor. So people ask me all the time where I get my parts, so I'll quickly run you through how I get parts for some of these motors. Yeah, so when it comes to finding parts I need, I usually use this website, boats.net. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, I just think they got a really good website with good diagrams. They probably should sponsor me and give them a free shout out. But anyways, if we just go here, they got pretty much every boat brand and outboard you could think of. So let's go to Honda. They got other motors as well. Mine's a 2008, so yeah, we'll go to 20. And yeah, if you just get your serial number, you can look it up by serial number to get the exact part you need. We'll just start with carburetor since that's like the first piece I need. So yeah, they got good diagrams here. So my part is number 11 right here, that little rubber boot cap piece. So we'll just click there. I got it in stock. So yep, that's the part I need that's leaking. And I think they charge like 10 bucks for shipping unless you spend like 150 or more. So what I'll do too is to find the best price, I usually just take this part number, just copy and paste that. I usually use eBay or Amazon. For this example, we'll just use eBay. We'll just search that part number, see if we can get it maybe a little cheaper. Yeah, it looks like it's a little more expensive on eBay, so we'll probably just stick with boats.net. The nice thing too with boats.net is I believe all their parts are OEM, so you know it's going to be pretty good quality. So yeah, we'll just keep scrolling down too. I need a propeller and a couple other parts for that. So yeah, good diagrams. If you had some parts missing in your lower unit, you could reference this. So yeah, number 11 is the prop. I also need like the nut, cotter pin, all that. Looks like they had a number of different options for like 150 bucks, which is kind of steep. I mean, it is OEM, but since it's an aluminum prop, I don't really care. I'm just gonna go with the cheapest option. So you can take that part number, or honestly, sometimes I've had just good luck just typing in, you know, Honda 20 horsepower prop. And yeah, on eBay, it's like a third of the price. So yeah, I don't really care about OEM on a prop. It's gonna get dinged up anyways. So I'm just gonna go with this cheapest option here. And yeah, that's pretty much how I find parts. All right, just installing the prop, pretty easy, just with the little castle nut, cotter pin. All right, got this cowling latch on there now, so that's taken care of. So let's dive into this carburetor. Well, here's the carb. I mean, it's a little bit dirty. Not the worst thing in the world, but we'll just spray through all these passages and jets with the carb cleaner. Yeah, there's a jet on the side there as well. And yeah, just clean her up. Yeah, that needle is moving the way it's supposed to. Just spray through this jet here. Under this little brass flathead piece, some fuel passages in here that look a little dirty. I actually like taking these jets off too, just get the right flathead. Just make sure that these aren't too dirty. Yeah, you can see through that, so that's good. Yeah, you can kind of see that hole now. See like my finger, the color through. So we'll slide this new one on. It's able just to kind of slide it out of the way a bit. So this should be able to slide on and over. Got this new piece on. This piece is actually, there's a little ball at the end that can just pop out of this little like socket joint. But yeah, it's on there. Shouldn't hopefully leak anymore. Yeah, after that carb clean, fires right up. But I got the line disconnected. She's not peeing any water. So there's probably something to do with all this epoxy in the lower unit. Yeah, I don't know if you can see down there, but that line's not pumping any water out of that thing. I disconnected it because sometimes these get clogged up, but just shut her off. And also, yeah, when you give her throttle, kind of struggles. So yeah, let's take off this lower unit, see what's going on. I'm actually really curious what's going to be in this lower unit. So yeah, there's just a handful of bolts holding it down on each side. And if you look right here, there's a little linkage. So you just want to like twist this off with a 10 mil, this little coupling piece, and lower unit should drop. Also have the motor in reverse while taking this off. So I just want to be sure to leave that bottom nut in that position and then just remove this coupling just so the linkages and everything will be intact when I put everything back together. Helps to have it in reverse too, just when you line up the drive shaft rather than neutral. Well, this middle bolt just snapped on me, so that's probably why he did a lot of epoxy. It's probably already snapped. All right, able to get her out. Just started with small drill bits, put a pilot hole in it, and then just got a little bit bigger drill bit, and then just reversed the drill, and yeah, able to save it. These threads actually look pretty decent, so. Oh, got the impeller off. I mean, it doesn't look half bad. I mean, one fin is like pointed the wrong direction, but yeah, not sure why it wasn't pumping any water. Right, it's not terrible. Still got some like play to it. Oh, got a new impeller, so let's throw this on, see if it fixes our water issue. So while installing the new impeller, it's on now. I want to twist the drive shaft clockwise to make sure the fins are all facing the same direction. So yeah, this motor ain't peeing water. So I had a feeling, seeing how the old impeller actually looked pretty decent, that it was probably just a blockage in the line, and that's exactly what it was. So here's the outlet for the telltale for the pee hole, and I pulled the line off here. You can't really tell, I'll clean it out, but there's some stuff in there, and so it wasn't peeing. And so I already have the lower unit off. What you can kind of do is you can just get a hose, and then I just put a fuel line onto the water pickup, and I kind of simulate how the impeller would work by blasting water up this hose, and then it should shoot out of here, which it wasn't, because this was all blocked up. But now that this is removed, now it's peeing water out of here. You know, another thing you could check too is this is where the thermostat is here. I took the cover off, there's just 2 bolts. So sometimes that thermostat can be like gunked up, not allowing water to flow, but this thermostat looks fine. There's no blockage in there. So I'll quickly show you how to flush this system just to see if you have any blockage. So I'm just gonna put this black line back on. It's still clogged. I'll show you. So I'm going to turn this water on, connect it to the water pickup, and you'll see no water should shoot out. Yeah, it's coming out the exhaust right there. So it's just too blocked up. So now that we take this off, now just the actual like nipple is exposed. There we go. Now we have a telltale. Yeah, let's just clear this out. See what's in here. Oh yeah, oh yeah, look at that. I don't even know what that is, just like grass and dirt. Yeah, pretty common when these motors sit. Dirt gets built up in there. There's bug nests and stuff. So let me shoot some water through this. There we go, even more stuff in there. All right, got anti-seize. Don't want to break any more bolts, so I'm gonna anti-seize all these lower unit bolts. It's running decent. It's peeing water now with that new impeller. Lines are cleared. I wonder too, maybe it wasn't peeing water and the guy just decided to like seal this off because he didn't check the telltale line. I don't know. There's like still a little bit of hesitation on the throttle sometimes. I don't know if the air mixture screw is like just slightly out of adjustment. Fires back up every time. There's like just that little hiccup. Yeah, super quiet. Fires up every time. Peeing pretty decent water. Should be peeing better water with this new impeller. Maybe it's just taking a second for that thermostat to open up. Yeah, it's peeing a little bit better. Yeah, really quiet motor. But yeah, sometimes when you give it throttle, if you do it slow, it never seems to hesitate, but if you do it really quick, there's a little bit of hesitation. Typically that's like an air mixture issue, which if you look right here, I mean, it's all the way maxed out. There's this little piece here that won't let you adjust it farther than that. So I mean, really you can only adjust it about like half a turn. But I think that needle needs to actually be cleaned or adjusted slightly more counterclockwise to let it run a little more lean. All right, I messed up just a little bit. So basically here I got the air mixture screw with the spring and the needle out. And so I was wrenching on this little piece right here. And this is supposed to be two pieces. This little piece slides over onto this piece, but it broke. This part's only like 10 bucks. I probably should just replace it. But what I think I'm gonna do actually, I'd already drilled a pilot hole to actually be able to pull this out and get it moving. I just put like a little flathead screwdriver on there. But I'm actually gonna take my Dremel and cut a slit and turn this into a flathead. You know, I could cut this off, epoxy it, or just not be a stingy fuck and just go buy the $10 part. But you know, we're just gonna work with what we got here. So I'm gonna take my Dremel with a little angle saw blade, cut an angled slit into it, turn it into a flathead, and should be good to go. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta get creative. So as a garage mechanic, you just gotta make shit up and see how it works. Yeah, so with this little flathead adjustment I did, now I can actually adjust it, and I think I've been able to save it after breaking off the tip. So yeah, screws all the way in, and we'll back it out. Kind of forgot what setting it was at. We'll just go 1.5 turns out is usually a good starting point, and then just kind of test it from there. So that was fully seated. So there's 1, and there's a 1/2. So let's try that. Yeah, that's still 2 right there. I just noticed this screw is like spinning freely. That's not good. They're just 10 mil screws. I already tightened them down. We'll just make sure that they're real tight so these don't wiggle free. Should be good right there. So I adjusted it again. I think the sweet spot for me for this carburetor is like about just past 2 turns out fully seated. So it doesn't seem to be doing the hesitation as much on the throttle when I just like immediately give it throttle. So before it was probably set at 1.5. maybe 1 3/4, so it just needed like to be a little bit leaner. So just turning it counterclockwise, I think got that sweet spot for it. Okay, so here's a new bolt for the one I broke off. It's an OEM Honda. Shit was 10 bucks. Couldn't find one in store that fit. Could have retapped the threads with like a bolt size up, but yeah, the threads were still good on this thing. So put this on, put anti-seize, and hopefully it shouldn't break off again. I got some goof off. I'm just gonna spray onto this and try to remove all this old sealant crap he put on. Yeah, I'm gonna change the oil. Got the side cover off, it's just easier to access it. So there's the screw there. I just made a little like funnel with a zip tie and a piece of cardboard. Just helps it get kind of messy. There we go. So yeah, this thing's still draining, and if you look right here, I mean, this thing's only supposed to have like just over a quart of oil. And if we look here, I mean, this is like a quart and a half at least. I mean, this line right here is 1 quart. So yeah, there's like 3 pints in there. So yeah, whoever filled this definitely overfilled it. Yeah, I got a new filter here, just the Quicksilver equivalent of the Honda Blue filters. Couldn't find the Honda Blue one online. So yeah, I always like writing the date on them, just so the next person who puts it on, or me, knows when it was changed last. So yeah, we'll throw this on and fill her up with oil. Yeah, we'll just take some of this old oil, put a dab on the ring so it comes off easier next time. And yeah, just do it like hand tight, 10W30, so we'll fill her up. Yeah, I finally organized this messy garage. Might be the world's most unorganized mechanic out there, but yeah, it took me like all day. But anyways, let's change this gear oil here too. I already checked the fluid, it looked fine, but we'll just have a little peace of mind and put some fresh oil in here. Yeah, it's a little brown, but not terrible. All right, at the river, I'm gonna test this Honda 20. See what she does. Yeah, super quiet motor. Just make sure she fires right back up again. So this boat, the transom's like 18 and a half inches. For some reason, the previous owner like cut it down. It should have been for a long shaft motor. This is a short shaft motor, so it's not gonna get to like the optimal speed. You know, I've had kind of issues with this boat. I need to either just sell it or get a jack plate because the height is just kind of the wrong height for long shaft and short shaft motors. But yeah, regardless, we're gonna test it and see how it performs. Got up on plane real quick. For this motor being locked up just a few weeks ago, I mean, you wouldn't even know. Running super smooth, got good compression. I'm curious how many hours are on this thing. By the looks of it, it was probably only used in fresh water. Not really seeing like much prison or anything, but yeah, I mean, these are good, solid little motors. Do a lot of 2-strokes. I mean, this 4-stroke is so damn quiet. Just barely hear the thing running. I've been out here for like an hour and a half, just messing around, doing some fishing. I mean, this motor is running amazing. I mean, I've been shutting it off a bunch, firing it up, full throttle, a little bit of everything. Just fires right up every time. Just super smooth, quiet motor. I'm back from the river. And this Honda 20 ran amazing all day. Had it out for a few hours. You know, I think I got that air mixture screw dialed in perfect the first time because it was idling great. No hesitation on the throttle all day. You can stop it, fires right up every time. So honestly, I can't think of really anything else I can do with this. It really just ran perfect. Yeah, so I made this video to show that even though motor is locked up or seized up, you know, it can still be saved. You know, in the past, I've freed up a handful of seized up motors and got them running again. You know, it can be a little bit of a crapshoot whether you can get them running again. Really just depends on the condition of why it got seized up. You know, this one, for instance, just sat for a few years, and I think just enough moisture got into the cylinders that it locked up the cylinders. But it wasn't like salt water, for instance. Like if a motor fell overboard, you know, you're gonna have a harder time getting it unlocked and get the compression going. But thankfully, this one was still savable. Yeah, I've been working on a lot of 2-strokes lately and forgot how quiet and smooth these 4-strokes are. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. And yeah, in the comments, let me know too if you got any video ideas or want to see me do any procedures. I'm open to hearing it, and if I like it, might make a video on it. So yeah, appreciate you guys watching. See you on the next one.